Your secrets, if you really look at yourself, you would be speechless. What happened to being doctors and teachers? What happened to being your brother's keeper? Nowadays, kids more worried.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Stakkz, aka Stakkz G, aka Thick as Shoot, aka Let's Get Busy. Before we continue, make sure you smash that like button, crush that comment section, destroy that subscribe button. I'll make sure to keep bringing you my videos on a daily. Now, last we left off, we basically talked to Cassandra, walked around the town a little bit, read a couple notes, picked up some loot, had a basic exploration feel for, what the game consists of as far as, walking around the towns and stuff like that. And that's basically what we're going to be doing in this episode as well, but it's just going to be a little bit more in depth. We're going to talk to our party members and start on their side quests and their interests and things of that nature, as well as taking a look at requisition missions and things that we have to do there. And yeah, so I say we get started. Fulfill Inquisition requisitions with the quartermaster. That's this person right here, Thran.
Leliana's Oxman mercenaries were still here. Well, if you want new gear, you pay for it. Oh, you're him. Thran, Inquisition Quartermaster. I'm doing what I can to supply this mess. If you find what I need to fill one of my requisitions, I'd appreciate you bringing it in.
What do you do here?
I make sure the Inquisition troops have food in their bellies and iron in their hands. Both are important. Lots of people expecting us to be heroes, marching all day to fight the demons. Turns out heroes need to dig latrines just like everyone else.
How does someone end up as quartermaster for the Inquisition?
I served for Eldon under Ten Loghain MacTier, best commanding officer this world has ever seen. After they all turned on him at Denerim, though, there wasn't much use for people who held that opinion. Queen Honora offered my services to the Inquisition. It was a kindness. She knew I supported her father and got me away from the political garbage.
Real quick, for those who don't know or haven't played the Dragon Age Origins or Awakening or whatever, Ten Loghain was a traitor. Yeah. The game basically started off with an opening battle with the Grey Wardens, and he basically took his army and fled when he was supposed to charge in when a certain signal was given, and he rose to power by being corrupt, and at the end basically killed him. Well, you could have killed him, or you could have chose to let him live and stuff like that. And his daughter was Queen Honora and stuff. So, but depending on what you did, it had different outcomes. So, yeah. But just to let y'all know, in case y'all haven't played that. Now, I didn't like Ten Loghain, so I could say, yeah, I'm gonna say he's a traitor.
Loghain MacTier betrayed the Grey Wardens and his king.
Were you there at Ostagar? I was. King Kaelan overextended his position, and the Grey Wardens were too late lighting the signal. Following the original plan would have gotten everyone killed. Ten Loghain made the right decision.
That's a lie.
I apologize. Sister Leliana told me I shouldn't talk about this. Just forget it.
What did you mean when you mentioned requisitions?
I'm making this Inquisition run with what we have, but we're not a real army. We're stretched thin on materials, so I've put up a requisition list for anything that could help our people. Here, take a look. You find some iron and a good login site, maybe Varric can get our troops better weapons.
If I have material for a special order, do I bring it to you?
Just take it over there. One of my boys will take the materials or jot down what you found.
Farewell.
Make her go with you.
Alright, so as you see in the top right corner, it said requisition for weapons and things of that nature. And now we just basically collected a couple missions that we could do. Inspect requisition. Our soldiers require additional weapons if they are to be efficient. A reward +1 power. Powers are, well, we'll get to that in this episode, so don't worry about it. But you need materials. You need craft item, one logging stand, and 5 iron. We already have the iron because we've been picking it up, so we don't have to worry about
Find
that.
anything we need, let me know.
So let's see who's down here. And there go Varric. So let's talk to Varric.
So, now that Cassandra's out of earshot, are you holding up all right? I mean, you go from being the most wanted criminal in Thedas to joining the armies of the faithful. Most people would have spread that out over more than one day.
None of this shit should have happened.
You don't know the half of it. For days now, we've been staring at the breach, watching demons and maker knows what fall out of it. Bad for morale would be an understatement. I still can't believe anyone was in there and lived.
If it was that bad, why did you stay? Cassandra said you were free to go.
I like to think I'm as selfish and irresponsible as the next guy, but this... Thousands of people died on that mountain. I was almost one of them. And now there's a hole in the sky. Even I can't walk away and just leave that to sort itself out.
Man, I love Varric. Varric is awesome. He's just really like the most human, the closest thing to human nature and human intentions as possible. Like, he's just well-rounded, really easily relatable to the character. So, and plus, you know, playing previous Dragon Age games, you know, he's close. You know, he's a good friend. So.
I'm still not sure I believe that any of this is really happening.
If this is all just the Maker winding us up, I hope there's a damn good punchline coming. You might want to consider running at the first opportunity. I've written enough tragedies to recognize where this is going. Heroes are everywhere. I've seen that. But the hole in the sky, that's beyond heroes. We're going to need a miracle.
Then you got... Now, you think for most people, you just like, hey, we talk to Varric, we could walk away. But actually, what you want to do is talk to him twice.
Need something?
Because you want to now talk about him. See, and it's also say, tell me about Red Lyrium.
The red lyrium we found at the temple seemed to upset you.
My brother Bartrand and I sort of discovered Red Lyrium during an expedition in the Deep Roads. We located an ancient thaig, so old it barely looked dwarven. There was this idol there made of it. Bartrand brought it back to the surface, and, well, everything's gone downhill from there.
Another flashback to what happened in Dragon Age 2.
So what is it? Just another kind of lyrium?
The red stuff is lyrium like a dragon is a lizard. It's not just a different color. It has a whole host of weirdness all its own. I've written to every mining cast house in Orzammar. No one's seen this stuff before or knows where it came from.
What makes it special?
Regular lyrium can mess you up pretty badly, but you have to ingest it for that to happen. Red lyrium messes with your mind when you're just near the stuff. You hear singing, get violent, paranoid, and then it does creepy shit. Makes things float, brings statues to life. It also turned Kirkwall's Knight Commander to lyrium. Everyone's been kept at least 100 paces from it since.
Everything that's happened in Dragon Age 2, so if y'all played that, then y'all know what he's talking about, and y'all seen the events, and he ain't lying, there was some crazy stuff going on, especially with the Deep Roads expedition. Woo!
How did the red lyrium get in the Temple of Sacred Ashes?
I don't know. So as far as I knew, the only piece to make it to the surface was destroyed. And the location of the thaig it came from is a secret. Did someone find more of it in the Deep Roads? That's not a cheery thought.
I think that's enough on red lyrium.
Yeah, not really my favorite subject.
You see, now you see we have a quest called Seeing Red, Primeval, Red Lyrium, Deposit Destroyed, and stuff like that. So that's completing that will further along Varric's like for us and stuff like that, and oh my god, stuff like that. I said that phrase maybe. I think a couple people commented, Zericon and Adam commented that I said that 7 times. I'm pretty sure I said that like at least 15. Yo, it's crazy, but it's a old habits. Everyone got little quirks and kinks and little things that they do that make them special. But it's a bad habit. I'm trying to break out of it, especially when you are recording for like YouTube and stuff like that. Oh my god. Especially when you're recording for YouTube, you need to start paying more attention to like what you're saying and what you're doing, because it's a different atmosphere. It's a different. You're not just talking to yourself or talking to yourself. Wow, that sounds crazy. But you're not just talking to like your friend and stuff like that. Oh my god. Yeah, whatever. We just gonna continue. You know what I meant. You know what I'm trying to say. You want to keep it nice and professional, but also have fun. So, I have a personal question.
Can I ask you something, Varric?
You want to talk about me? I'm flattered. Also inclined toward extravagant lies.
So that's basically his standard. We're cool, but we're not that cool. So,
You from Ferelden? Orlais?
Free marches, born and raised in Kirkwall. And despite whatever you've heard, no, Kirkwall's not that bad.
I'm not clear on your line of work. You're a merchant?
I'm a businessman. My family has a seat in the Dwarven Merchants Guild. Merchants buy and sell goods. Businessmen buy and sell stores. In my spare time, I manage a spy network, and occasionally, I write books.
If you've run a spy network, why is Liliana our spy master?
To be honest with you, she's just a better spy master. The truly great ones can keep their distance. They don't get attached to their people. Me, I always wind up babysitting my informants and worrying about their families. We're in better hands with her.
You're an author? What kind of books have you written?
I've tried my hands at a few genres. My crime serials are my most popular. Hard in Hightown, guards breaking the rules to get things done. The Tale of the Champion is the most famous thing I've written, or infamous maybe. I started a romance serial once, Swords and Shields, but to be honest, I don't have a knack for romances. Most of my stories end in tragedy. Probably that says something unfortunate about me personally.
The Champion tale, obviously, that was the whole story of Dragon Age 2.
What sort of shops do you own?
Actually, we don't own shops. That was just an example. Mostly we invest in money lenders. Auction houses, a few mercenary companies, a couple of smithies. I think we own half a beet plantation in Ravane somewhere. Most of that's my brother's doing. Bartrand had business sense. Not much tact, but loads of business sense.
How do you and Cassandra know each other?
You heard about the Kirkwall Chantry being destroyed? The guy responsible used to be a friend of mine. The Seeker had questions about that, and I had answers.
God, I wish I could have imported my file from Dragon Age 2. So maybe we might have gotten a little bit more insight into that, but I don't have that file. I don't have that game or anything, so I can't do that.
Where did you get that crossbow? I've never seen one like it.
Bianca? She's one of a kind. I won her from Paragon Smith Bronca in a game of Wicked Grace. She was such a sore loser. Ran off the deep roads in a huff, and that was the last anyone saw of her.
9 times out of 10, anything that Varric says about where he got his his crossbow from is a lie. It even tells you in the item description of Bianca itself.
Who is she named for?
I can't tell you.
Now that is truth. Maybe we'll find out about it in this game. Who knows?
And the reason for that is?
Complicated. It's the one story I'll never tell. We just have to leave it at that.
Thanks, Varric.
No problem.
So now that we talked to Varric, you know, he's opening it up to us a little bit more. So now what we're going to do is, now all the shops that we went to, they now they have people in them and you can talk to them and buy things and stuff of that nature.
And
So
you've seen no signs of the Grey Wardens anywhere.
so let's do that.
Wait. Firestone. Grey Wardens?
Can I get you anything?
What can you tell me about this area?
Adan is Haven's apothecary. He's been making potions and tending to the wounded as best he can. Harris is the Inquisition smith. Whatever he can make you, Thren the quartermaster can probably find. And for anything fancier, you can try buying from Cedric. His prices aren't too high. Yeah? Oh, there's also Minave. She studies beasts and things, as I understand.
Farewell.
Yeah, as you just heard from her, Aiden is the apothecary. He was also the guy that was taking care of us and writing those notes, those patient observations. He was that guy. And it's just little things like of that nature that is just so cool about the game. Like, if you read and actually pay attention to the lore, it's happening around you. Like, you can't, like, how can you be mad at that? You can't be mad at that. Nothing in here.
Fix the door just like you asked.
Come over here and see who's over here. I think Solas is over here somewhere. Yep, there you go.
The chosen of Andraste, a blessed hero sent to save us all.
I've no interest in being a hero. All I want is to find a way to seal this breach.
Pragmatic, but ultimately irrelevant.
Solas is a strange one.
I've journeyed deep into the Fade in ancient ruins and battlefields to see the dreams of lost civilizations. I've watched as hosts of spirits clash to reenact the bloody past in ancient wars, both famous and forgotten. Every great war has its heroes. I'm just curious what kind you'll be.
What do you mean ruins and battlefields?
Any building strong enough to withstand the rigors of time has a history. Every battlefield is steeped in death. Both attract spirits. They press against the veil, weakening the barrier between our worlds. When I dream in such places, I go deep into the Fade. I can find memories no other living being has ever seen.
Now, I think the reason why it said that Solas slightly approves of us when we made the decision was because of the answers that we could have chosen. You know, it could have just been a direct answer like, yeah, I want to be a great hero, or I want to be unstoppable, or I just want to be a kind guy, or whatever. But the fact that we instead just ignored that form of flattery and delved deeper into what he was asking us, it kind of makes sense based on how his character is and his personality is. He's more into knowledge and deeper understanding of things as opposed to what's already been placed in front of him. So the fact that we did that and we went that route, you know, you see how like the choices and how you answer them, they also reflect the character's personalities that you're talking to based on how you answer them. So
You fall asleep in the middle of ancient ruins. Isn't that dangerous?
I do set wards. And if you leave food out for the giant spiders, they are usually content to live and let live.
I've never heard of anyone going so far into the Fade. That's extraordinary.
Thank you. It's not a common field of study for obvious reasons. Not so flashy as throwing fire or lightning. The thrill of finding remnants of a 1,000-year-old dream? I would not trade it for anything. I will stay there. At least until the breach has been closed.
Was that in doubt?
I am an apostate surrounded by Chantry forces in the middle of a mage rebellion. Cassandra has been accommodated, but you understand my caution.
The giant hole in the sky trumps any other concerns. We can worry about the rest later.
Yes. Who can say what this world will look like when we are done fighting for it? But now let us hope either the mages or the Templars have the power to seal the breach.
Once again, you also want to talk to him twice.
Closing the breach is our primary goal. But I hope we might also discover what was used to create it. Any artifact of such power is dangerous. The destruction of the Conclave proves that much.
You don't think whatever created the explosion was destroyed in the blast?
You survived, did you not? The artifact that created the breach is unlike anything seen in this age. I will not believe it destroyed until I see the shattered fragments with my own eyes.
Now, this is where Solas gets kind of tricky as a character, because it seems like he's so fascinated by what created the breach and the chaos that we're currently going through right now, that he's more concerned with studying what made it as opposed to actually destroying it. You know, if you get that feel from him, that's the feel I get from him right now.
We would do well to try to recover whatever created the breach.
Liliana's people have scoured the area near the blast and found nothing. Whatever the artifact was, it is no longer there. In any case, did you need me for anything?
I'd like to know more about you, Solas.
Why?
You're an apostate, yet you risked your freedom to help the Inquisition.
Not the wisest course of action when framed that way.
I appreciate the work you're doing, Solas. I just wanted to know more about you.
I'm sorry. With so much fear in the air. What would you know of me?
What made you start studying the Fade?
I grew up in a village to the north. There was little to interest a young man, especially one gifted with magic. But as I slept, spirits of the Fade showed me glimpses of wonders I had never imagined. I treasured my dreams. Being awake, out of the Fade, became troublesome.
Did spirits try to tempt you?
No more than a brightly colored fruit is deliberately tempting you to eat it. I learned how to defend myself from more aggressive spirits, and how to interact safely with the rest. I learned how to control my dreams with full consciousness. There was so much I wanted to explore.
Now, in Dragon Age 2, there was a mission where you went into the dreams of a kid who had the ability to control the Fade and stuff like that, and bring the Fade into reality. And I'm trying to remember his name. I don't remember his name. Maybe Yakin. If y'all remember it, let me know in the comment section below. But I wonder if this was that kid. I don't know why. He just seems to match that profile. Not to mention, the kid was also, he was an elf. I think he was an elf. I know he was bald. So maybe. I don't know.
I gather you didn't spend your entire life dreaming.
No. Eventually, I was unable to find new areas in the Fade.
Why?
2 reasons. First, the Fade reflects the world around it. Unless I traveled, I would never find anything new. Second, the Fade reflects and is limited by our imaginations. To find interesting areas, one must be interesting.
Is this why you joined the Inquisition?
I joined the Inquisition because we were all in terrible danger. If our enemies destroy the world, I would have nowhere to lay my head while dreaming of the Fade.
Well, it's not the worst reason I've heard to go out and enjoy life.
I'm glad to hear it. In truth, I have enjoyed experiencing more of life to find more of the Fade.
How so?
You strengthen your body to deliver and withstand punishment. The muscles are an enjoyable side benefit. You have chosen a path whose steps you do not dislike because it leads to a destination you enjoy. As have I.
You said you'd traveled to many different places.
This world, or its memory, is reflected in the Fade. Dream in ancient ruins, you may see a city lost to history. Some of my fondest memories were found in crumbling cities, long picked dry by treasure seekers, the best of the battlefields. Spirits press so tightly on the veil that you can slip across with but a thought.
Any place in particular?
I dreamt at Ostagar. I witnessed the brutality of the Darkspawn and the valor of the Ferelden warriors. I saw Alistair and the hero Ferelden light the signal fire, and Logain's infamous betrayal of Kaelin's forces.
Hey, this is so awesome. He's talking about events that happened in Dragon Age. Whew! Such nostalgia.
I've heard the stories. It would be interesting to hear what it was really like.
That's just it. In the Fade, I see reflections created by spirits who react to the emotions of the warriors. One moment, I see heroic wardens lighting the fire, and a power-mad villain sneering as he lets King Kaelin fall. The next, I see an army overwhelmed and a veteran commander refusing to let more soldiers die in a lost cause.
And you can't tell which is real.
It is the Fade. They are all real.
Have you always traveled and studied alone?
Not at all. I have built many lasting friendships. Spirits of wisdom, possessed of ancient knowledge, happy to share what they had seen. Spirits of purpose helped me search. Even wisps, curious and playful, would point out treasures I might have missed.
I don't know of any spirits by those names.
They rarely seek this world. When they do, their natures do not often survive exposure to the people they encounter. Wisdom and purpose are too easily twisted to pride and desire.
You're saying that you became friends with pride and desire demons?
They were not demons for me.
Meaning?
The Fade reflects the minds of the living. If you expect a spirit of wisdom to be a pride demon, it will adapt. And if your mind is free of corrupting influences, if you understand the nature of the spirit, they can be fast friends.
Once again, it seems like he's teetering on the line of good and evil right there, because it's just like, it's so easily for him to just be cool with things that we already perceive as dangerous, and he's just like, nah, they just misunderstood. And we all know how those stories goes.
You trust these spirits not to possess you the first time you accidentally make a wish?
Do you trust your friends not to turn on you?
Well, yes, but they're people.
Ah, of course.
You know what I mean.
Are people only people because they are flesh and blood? Is Cassandra defined by her cheekbones and not her faith? Varric by his chest hair and not his wit?
That's funny.
I hadn't thought about it that way, but I see your point.
Thank you. Few are willing to entertain such a notion.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Alright. So, that's all. Solas was lengthy. Boy, I tell you, Solas can talk. But these are things you have to go through when you want to increase and expand the side missions with your companions. Apothecary, 5 recipes throughout exploration or by visiting merchants. Visiting an apothecary with herbs you gather in the wilderness to upgrade potions. Use the equip station to assign different potions. Yeah, we'll talk about all that. So, upgrade potions. Let's see what we got here. Potion upgrade. You can upgrade potions you have already unlocked. To upgrade a potion, select the category, select the potion, then select the upgrade. Potion upgrades require a significant amount of herbs to unlock them. In return, they give permanent and significant bonuses to your potions, which is why I said you want to pick up the crafting materials. Don't just walk by them. So, we don't have any recipes for any tonics. We don't have any grenades. The only thing we have is just the healing potion. Instantly restores 385 life. So, we got this one right here. Increase healing 1 and increase healing 2. I have 12 elf fruit. You need 29 to upgrade this from regular healing potion to healing potion 1. So
Fliss has said to check with you to make sure these are safe to serve.
They're fine. Nobody will take sick as long as she boils them right. Smart woman for asking, though. Look who's back from the dead. Again. I shouldn't be surprised. You Oxmen are tough as old leather.
I don't recall meeting you before.
I'd be surprised if you did. You weren't particularly coherent. Someone had to patch you up after you staggered out of making those wear, though. So, you're welcome.
I didn't realize. Thank you.
Yeah, well, you can pay me back by fixing the world. Name's Adan. I'm in charge of keeping our little band here stocked with potions and elixirs. Not that Seeker Pentagast seems to care whether we've got the supplies to actually do that.
Is there anything I can do to help out?
We're fine as far as raw labor goes. You've more important things to do than tend to me. I only wish I'd been able to find Master Tajin's notes. Old bastard was working on something special. He died at the Conclave, and his notes weren't here. Been too busy dealing with the wounded to look for them.
How do I go about having potions made?
Just take a look there and tell me what you'd like. Find a recipe for something better, I can make that too.
Alright guys, we acquired the regeneration potion. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna end the episode right here. I know it's been mostly talking and running around and seeing people and stuff and talking to our companions. So, but I think we're done with talking to everybody for the moment in Haven. So, the next episode, we will probably be going out to. Actually, we're not finished talking to everybody in Haven. We still got to talk to Sagrid, which is this merchant here, and the weaponsmiths and all them guys and stuff like that. So, but y'all got the good idea, good gist of what talking talking to people does for you. So I'm probably just gonna do all that stuff off screen, and the next episode we're gonna pick back up. We're gonna be reporting to the Haven's Chantry. So with that being said, you guys, y'all know my motto. At the end of the day, you always have two options in life. You can either think or shoot. Yada.